today we are doing Richardian poets. In Richardian poets, who are basically Richardian poets? In my last video, I have told you that the complete age of Chaucer had three kings in that. And all those three kings had a kind of a division जिनको हम Edwardian poets कहते हैं. Edwardian poets की थीम मैंने आपको बताई थी. All were religious poets. Wycliffe, जूलियन ऑफ नॉर्वे, सारे राइटर्स कौन थे? ये सारे राइटर्स आपके बेसिकली रिलीजियस राइटर्स थे. सबने ट्रांसलेशन, बाइबल, जीसस क्राइस्ट, इन सभी के बारे में लिखा है. जो रिचर्डियन पोएट्स हैं, दे आर ऑल द राइटर्स हु वर टॉकिंग अबाउट, हु आर राइटिंग अबाउट सोशल इश्यूज. तो यहाँ पे एक मेजर चीज देखने में आएगी कि ये जो राइटर्स हैं, दे ऑल आर राइटिंग अबाउट सोशल एंड political issues of the society. Okay, they were writing about social and political issues. What exactly those issues they were writing? Their main content of these writers, the main content of these writers were Black Death, that is plague, feudalism, and church corruption, etc. Such kind of issues were there. फ्लड एंड ऑल, ये सारी चीजें भी वहां पे बताई गई हैं. बट बेसिकली द मेन themes about which they all have talked about black death, feudalism, church corruption. और आप यहाँ पे 100 year war भी लिख सकते हो because that was a contemporary thing which was ongoing. So 100 years war, ठीक है, that was between France and England. ये यहाँ पे कॉन्टेम्प्रेरी इश्यूज हैं जिनको की लेके यहाँ मेजर वर्क्स लिखे गए हैं. अब एक क्वेश्चन ये आता है कि इस टाइम पे मेजर राइटर्स कौन से? केवल दो राइटर्स इस टाइम पे आएंगे. फर्स्ट राइटर जो मैं आपको आज कराऊंगी, दैट वाज जॉन गोवर. और सेकेंड राइटर जो हम करेंगे, दैट इज विलियम लैंगलैंड. ठीक है, दो दे आर नॉट लाइक वेरी पॉपुलर राइटर, they are not a renowned writer for their work, but yes, they are known for one or two works. Like John Gower was famous for 3 works. We never read these works in detail, but still he is a renowned writer. William Langland is a writer who is famous for one work only, that is Fire the Plowman, but that one work is a milestone of his career, जिसने पूरा career, पूरी life इसकी change कर दी. And that work is renowned in this complete century. मतलब besides Chaucer, हम अगर इस एज का कोई मेजर वर्क जानते हैं तो वो पायर द फ्लोमैन ही जानते हैं. ठीक है, तो हमें ये दो राइटर्स करने हैं और ये दो राइटर्स मैं आज आपको करवा रही हूँ. फर्स्ट वी विल स्टार्ट विद जॉन गोवर. इस पीरियड में आपको एक चीज और देखने को मिलेगी, दैट बहुत सारे ऐसे राइटर्स हैं जिनकी बायोग्राफीज नहीं लिखी गई है. सो चॉसर है, लैंगलैंड है या गोवर है, इनमें से किसी भी राइटर की बेसिक बायोग्राफी नहीं लिखी गई है. तो हमें इनके बर्थ ईयर्स बहुत एग्जैक्ट नहीं पता, इनके डेथ ईयर बहुत एग्जैक्ट नहीं पता, but which year is being considered as a birth or death year, I am just going to write that only. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट राइटर I am taking John Gower. 1340 to 1408 is taken as a lifespan of John Gower. What are the specialties of John Gower? Why he is a famous writer? Basically has talked about main theme of his works. अगर हम जॉन गोवर की बात करते हैं तो main theme of his work is morality, ethics, virtues, religion, etc. ठीक है, that is why Geoffrey Chaucer has called him, he was the best friend of Geoffrey Chaucer, or we can say he was a good friend of Geoffrey Chaucer. Chaucer called him moral goer. Chaucer called him moral goer. Okay, basically he was a man who knows 3 language, so he has a mastery over 3 language. Latin, French, and English. So his entire career he has mastery over 3 languages, and he had created literature in all the 3 languages. Second thing, his favorite mode is writing in. Choose to write in epic meter. What is an epic meter? Octasyllabic. You can say octasyllabic or tetrameter. That is what he choose to write upon. ठीक है, ये सारी चीजें हैं जो जॉन गोवर के बेसिक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स और उसके राइटिंग करियर के अंदर आएगी. अभी हमने इसके वर्क्स के बारे में बात नहीं करा, तो हम लोग इनके वर्क्स को फ्रेंच, लैटिन और इंग्लिश इसी सीक्वेंस के अंदर मैं आपको करवाऊंगी. फर्स्ट वर्क व्हिच केम इन हिज करियर, व्हिच becomes a building brick of his career, which become the first work of his career, which get him most of his fame. That is Vox Clementiis. His first work is Vox Clementis, which was most probably written in 1387. This work was written in Latin language, and the meaning of this work is time of calamity. Time of calamity, or you can say problem. Okay, what basically he has talked about in this work? He in this work has talked about the time of calamity like Black Death, and how one should behave at the time of calamity, how one should pay his duties toward the country at the time of calamity or problem or some kind of such kind of, you can say, like pandemics which also hit इंग्लैंड एट दिस टाइम. सो इस टाइम पे जो 1346-48 का जो ब्लैक डेथ हुआ था, उसको इशू लेके, उसका एक सेंट्रल आइडिया लेके उसने ये वर्क लिखा था, वॉक्स क्लेमेंटीज. इसके अंदर इसने पूरे यूरोप के अंदर इस प्रॉब्लम को डिस्कस किया था, एंड ही सेड दैट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द ड्यूटी ऑफ अ कॉमन मैन एट द टाइम ऑफ दिस काइंड ऑफ कैलेमिटीज, कि उन लोगों को कैसे यहाँ पे बिहेव करना चाहिए, कैसे अपनी ड्यूटीज को फुलफिल करना चाहिए, क्या उनकी ड्यूटीज होती है. इन सब चीजों की बातें इसने यहाँ पर करी है, एंड ऑब्वियसली विद द बेस ऑफ मोरालिटी, कि मोरालिटी ग्राउंड्स पे ये क्या चीजें होती हैं. तो ही बेसिकली टॉक्ड अबाउट द टाइम ऑफ कैलेमिटी एंड मोरालिटी. टू मेंटेन मोरालिटी एट दिस टाइम इज द मेजर इशू. The style which he has chosen to write in this the style he has chosen to write this poetry is octosyllabic. ठीक है, this is the first work. Now the second work is Speculum Vedantis, which is also being called as Mirror de la Man. Mirror de la Man, that is being published in 1392 approximately, and is written in French. This work is written in French language, and the meaning of this work, meaning of this phrase or sentence is mirror to mankind. That is also about the virtues and vices during this time. Whenever a man is living in society in any conditions, how he should be, what are the virtues and vices, why a man used to criticize another man. तो यहाँ पे अपने खुद के सेल्फ को पहले पहचानने और देखने की बात की. दैट इज अ मिरर टू मैनकाइंड, दैट वन शुड फर्स्ट एनालाइज देमसेल्फ एंड देन हैव अ राइट टू comment on someone else. That this poetry is also written in the same octosyllabic pattern. Okay, all the poetries are written in the same octosyllabic pattern, so this is also an octosyllabic or tetrameter poetry. Third work of this writer is Confessio Amantis, 1397, and that is an English work. Okay, the meaning of this work is confession of a lover. Confession of a lover. This is also written in octosyllabic verses, and in this poetry he has talked about the agony of a lover, the pain of being a lover. When someone used to love a girl, to they have criticized female for being disloyal in a relationship, for become over possessive in a relationship. A man, basically a man is hurt, and women is being least hurt in a relationship. These kind of images are being shown. A lover, a man is speaking out his agony if he is in love, because first the girl was not responding to him in a proper way, in a proper gesture. She was not considering his love seriously. When it happens, then also she was so possessive and so demanding that he was unable to complete all her wishes. So it was like a man is in a love is always in a pain. That kind of things are being shown in Confessio Amantis. These are all poems which are related to the social and human life and human mentality, morality and all. Right, now our next writer. Now the next writer is William Langland. We used to assume his death date as 1386, and the only work which come in his account is Fire the Plowman. This work is taken as responsible for the so-called Peasants' Revolt of 1381. Because in this Fire the Plowman, he showed the dignity, the position of a plowman in a society, that the plowman is a respectful person and is a like a person without any kind of sin. He was nearer, or you can say nearest to God. Plowman is a very simple man, and he does not know much of the sins or greed or lust, such kind of negativity is not in a plowman. He is a simple man and always want to do his duties first before anything. So he has been shown in a respectful manner and is compared to all the royals of the people. And another thing that Langland has also talked about the church corruption of that time, in that the church people, the highest priests, basically are taking taxes from the common man and are not taking any money from the royals, because they were giving them the salaries. So major exploitation were done for these people. These people are basically being exploited in a hike. So in this work, he Langland has given a image. That work is written in a dream allegory genre. It is written in a dream allegory genre. The dream allegory, when a person is basically dreaming, it's being shown that he is dreaming and is portraying that dream over here in the poetry. The character's name is Will, and all the characters are representing some kind of virtues, hope, or they are presenting the abstract noun. So Will is the character who is presenting here everything, the sins and every kind of virtues and vices are being portrayed here. Another thing, the main setting, the location which is being discussed in this work is Malvern Hill. And at Malvern Hill, Temple of Venus. So whosoever will reach to this temple will get a fame or eternity. That is being shown here, and the same theme is taken by Chaucer in House of Fame. Here, Will wants to go there, but he was bounded with his duties. He has to fulfill that first. But here, the other characters like royals and kings who are here in this play, in this story, basically are not concerned with their duties toward the nation, toward the palace or anything, but they all are concerned about their own luxury, their own lusts. So here, a plowman is being shown as a purest person. The central character is also a plowman, obviously. Now, about the structure, this complete work is divided into 3 texts, and that text name of the text is text A, text B, and text C. Okay, now the titles are also here along with text A, B, and C, like Feather Full of Flock, who will who will bell the cat, and do well, do best, do best is the third title. ये text के title हैं. All these 3 texts combinedly are divided into 8 visions, because it's a dream allegory. 8 visions are here, and in that 8 visions, he has described the complete scenery, that how the plowman is being approached by the sins, and he discarded one by one all the temptations given by the sins. He was very firm about his works and very firm about his determination to reach to the temple of Venus. That character is very determined to complete his tasks here. Then all these 8 visions are further divided into passos. Passos are passages. Now what you guys have to do, you all have to read this poetry in detail, because anything can be asked from this poetry, like setting. They can ask genre, they can ask about the titles of these texts, they can ask about the visions being given into the text. So what exactly you have to do, you should know that how many passages are there, how many visions are here, how what basically is given in one vision, two vision and all. You should know the stories vision wise at least. Okay, do make your notes in a similar way, and the next video will be about Chaucer. So stay tuned and bye bye, all the best.